What's happening? Welcome back. Hope everybody is feeling well on this wonderful Thursday. Welcome back to the LaVar Walker Daily Show podcast. One of the greatest podcasts on the face of the earth, where I'm coming to you Monday through Friday, every day at 7 p.m. We checking in, and I'm just dropping bars or jewels or contributing however I can, just trying to give value and talk to my people about what's going on in the world today. And it's a lot of shit going on every day because we are in this ocean of this internet and we are buried in information that is consistently coming at us. And we're all tied up in what's going on with Sexy Red and all these celebrities. But what has happened and what they're not talking about is something very, very serious. The FCC is just taking control of the internet as of today. They're not talking about this anywhere. We're talking about, what's going on in Gaza, which is very important. We're talking about what's going on with the war over in Ukraine, but nobody is talking about the FCC taking control over the internet through the Digital Equity Act. It's called the Digital Equity Act. I'm gonna let me bring my screen up here, and I can maybe we can look at this a little bit, just to get a little bit of I want to give a little bit of context of this Digital Equity Act, of what's going on here. Uh, let me type that in. Digital Equity Act. Okay, so basically, as we see the Digital Equity Act, let me change this. So the Digital Equity Act provides 2.75 billion to establish three grant programs that promote digital equity and inclusion. The aim to ensure that all people in communities have the skills, technology, and capacity needed to reap the full benefits of our digital economy. And I mean that in itself sounds really, really great. But as you know, with every bill passed by the government, was buried in that bill, is something for control. Now, as far as the Digital Equity Act, it sounds really good. But as a I don't know of a black person that has been denied access to the internet. If you are a black person that's been denied access to the internet, when you open your tablet and the tablet says no blacks, please DM me and let me know. I mean, it sounds great, but who is being denied internet or wireless systems? Who are these people? I came across a interesting video, like about what's really going on, and I'm gonna play that for you now. I don't know if this a TikTok or what it is, but I want you guys to take a listen to this.
To speed. Folks, while everybody's focused on what's happening in Israel and Gaza, I'm going to bring your attention to a major story happening this week that nobody seems to be covering. The Biden administration is literally steps away from regulating all internet service providers and taking over all internet infrastructure across the United States.
Brendan Carr is calling the Biden administration's digital equality plan for all internet services and infrastructure an awful power grab. He said President Biden's plan hands the administrative state effective control of all internet services and infrastructure in the country. Carr.
Now, he said ISP. For those of you who don't know what an internet service provider is, an internet service provider is basically the highway. It's like an expressway for me to transmit to you so you can see me, but I'm being transmitted over whatever internet service provider that I have, that being AT&T. But let's go on.
Went on to say the Biden administration's plan empowers the FCC to regulate every aspect of the internet sector for the first time ever.
So let's verify this for ourselves right off the Federal Communication Commission website, right off the government's website. And this is astounding because this is the head of the FCC himself right there. Carr opposes Biden's plan. As always, this is in my sources, so you can check it out and read it for yourself. President Biden's plan sweeps entire industries within the FCC's jurisdiction for the first time in the agency's 90-year history. President Biden's plan allows the FCC to impose unfunded build mandates on ISPs and unlimited monetary fines on every covered entity. The final vote for this is happening pretty much immediately. Next Wednesday, November 15th, the FCC is having their final vote. And if it wasn't for the Commissioner Brendan Carr, we probably never would have heard about it. And I bet they didn't talk about this on your 5 o'clock news.
That is true. And thank this brother, whoever he is, for that. So basically, what's happening is the government wants to take control over every aspect of the internet. And they're doing this. So let's think about why would they want to do this? Well, first of all, they just can't come out and say, hey, we're taking control of the internet, because that sounds too suspicious. So they want to do it in the guise of what they consider this digital equity act. They want to do it in the skies of racism and race and shit. And look, I have never experienced racism. If you've experienced racism when logging in, like I said, please DM me. I don't know. I'm talking to a lot of people. Basically, what I'm seeing is happening is Hollywood is dying. The news outlets, Fox, ABC, NBC, they cannot compete with these podcasts. They cannot compete with the IG skit guys. They can't compete with the TikTokers. So they need control. They want control. They want everybody to play, I guess, by some certain rules. They want you to say what they want you to say. And I just think it's utterly ridiculous. It's a definite huge power grab. They want to get everybody back in the office. You see, because this was freedom. And why would the government want to put his hand in the internet? And I guess what are you going to do? Just turn it into utility? Because I guess what'll happen is, if I'm Twitter, like, Elon Musk bought X, and Elon Musk basically bought X to give people the freedom of speech, because they were very, very overly sensitive. And we can't live in a society where people should be canceled or unable to say what they want to say. That's a ridiculous society. That society would be like a socialist or some type of communist society. So they want to just put their hands literally up everybody's ass, and you're gonna have to, just be a muppet. You won't be able to say certain things. And I guess if you get out of line, or if Facebook doesn't agree, if Twitter doesn't agree, you know, they're going to impose sanctions where they probably won't even be able to use the ISPs. I think it's ridiculous. I think it's an overreaching quality of the government, and they shouldn't be putting their hands in this shit, like, at all. They had a thing called net neutrality, and net neutrality was just a fair act, allowing me as a broadcaster or a website to use the ISP without a toll or without the information being throttled where you couldn't see the shit. You see what I'm saying? So net neutrality is cool, but this Digital Equity Act is some bullshit, because I don't know who cannot get online. I'm not saying you won't have racist people say stuff or get in your comments, but who is not able to get online or go to Starbucks and get on the Wi-Fi? I just don't know. So this is another attempt by Big Daddy government to just control us even more. And it'll give those entities, because see what's happened. Fox, NBC, all these people have gotten together and say, hey, man, we can't compete. They don't went, talk to the hedge fund people that run the world, that run the country. And they said, hey, we can't compete with all of these content creators. We need to get some control back. We need to control this. And they've agreed. You know, you got Biden. Biden can barely control his, he can't even control his stomach, let alone controlling the internet. So it's crazy to me. It's ridiculous, but I thought everybody should know. Also in the news today, and this just popped up, man, Cassie now is suing Diddy for rape and repeated abuse. And I need to bring that up as well. This just popped up, and I was like, man, this is let me see. I'm sure it's all over now. Let me bring it up here. Uh so Cassie is suing Diddy after 20 years. It doesn't seem to me, I'm somewhat skeptical of it, but who knows? You know what I mean? Because I don't want to. This is crazy. Wait a minute. Let me get my. Okay. All right. Let me bring this up for you guys. All right. So Sean Combs accused by Cassie of rape and years of abuse in lawsuit. And the suit says Mr. Combs known as Puff Daddy or Diddy subjected her to a pattern of control and abuse over about a decade. Mr. Combs vehemently denied the allegations. Sean Combs, music mogul, been one of the most famous names in hip hop for decades, was sued in federal court on Thursday by Cassie, an R&B singer once signed his label, accused Mr. Combs of rape and of repeated physical abuse over about a decade. In the suit in federal district court in Manhattan, Cassie's real name Cassandra Ventura, and who had long been Ms. Combs' romantic partner, says that not long after she met him in 2005, when she was 19, he began a pattern of control and abuse that included plying her with drugs, beating her, and forcing her to have sex with a succession of male prostitutes while he filmed the encounters. That is, I just don't know. In 2018, Sue says near the end of their relationship, Ms. Combs forced his way into her home and raped her. Jesus Christ. After years in silence, Dr. Ms. Ventura said in a statement, I'm finally ready to tell my story and to speak up on behalf of myself and for the benefit of women who face violence and abuse in their relationships. In response, Ms. Combs, Ben Braffman said Mr. Combs vehemently denies the offense by outrageous allegations. Ms. Combs has been subjected to Ms. Ventura's persistent demand of $30 million under the threat of writing a damaging book about their relationship, which was unequivocally rejected as blatant blackmail. I'm just gonna say I'm not gonna say he did do it or didn't do it, but my spidey senses, and this is just on me knowing nothing and a gut feeling. I feel it as if what the lawyer said that this is some type of extortion attempt. Um, I I just don't because I know Cassie had dumped her boyfriend for Diddy back in the day. What was her boyfriend's name? She had a boyfriend. He was a music producer, a big music producer. Some left him and got with her, but I don't know. This is really sad. And Diddy's going through a lot right now, man. But it's just weird. I mean, they just coming at him. Everybody's coming at him. You know, he just had the big Tupac thing, and it's pretty interesting to me. I don't know. I'm just gonna say I don't know. And let's see what else they say here. Mr. Combs, 54, found a bad boy. Oh, yeah, we know that. Okay, Miss Ventura's case, latest in a series of sexual assault civil suits filed against prominent men in the music industry. Steven Tyler, Aerosmith, L.A. Reid. Mm. Mr. Combs, who in his career has variously been known as Puff Daddy, Diddy, and Love, may be the most famous musicians, but the suit depicts Mr. Combs as a violent person who, beyond repeatedly assaulting Ms. Ventura, asked her to carry his gun in her purse and the suit suggests he was responsible for blowing up the car. Damn. Blowing up the car of a rival suitor. One incident, suit said Ms. Combs dangled a friend of Miss Ventura's over a 17th floor hotel balcony. My God. So Diddy is Big Red from the Five Heartbeats. In name, in addition to defense, the court asserted that others work Ms. Combs had helped him to control Ms. Ventura's time by threatening her with retribution, like suppressing her music if she not obeys orders, or by helping to conceal his behavior. Suit, which names Mr. Combs and a number of his associated companies, the defendant seeks unspecified damages. According to Ms. Ventura's suit, she was swept into Mr. Combs' jet set lifestyle and allowed to meet him and signing with Bad Boy, which released her debut album 06. But the suit says he's soon getting a certain extraordinary level of command over her life. In addition to controlling her career, he paid for her car, apartments, clothing, even had access to her personal medical records. According to the suit, the results from an MRI scan she had for memory loss, possibly caused by drug use or by a beating. Jesus Christ. She said she suffered. Mr. Combs went directly to Mr. Combs. Mr. Combs also provided Ms. Ventura with copious amounts of drugs, including ecstasy and ketamine, and urged her to take them. The suit says, and often became violent, beating her multiple times each year. Suit says Miss Ventura never went to the police because she feared it would merely give Mr. Combs another excuse to hurt her. One incident in L.A. in 2009, the suit said Mr. Combs became enraged when he saw Miss Ventura talking to another talent agent, and pushed her into a car and kicked her repeatedly in the face, making her bleed. According to the suit, Ms. Combs had his staff bring her to a hotel room to recuperate for a week. She has to go home to her parents. Ms. Combs refused. The suit says after seeing the violent replicas, so he is Ike Turner and Big Red all in one. Ms. Combs and the extent to which he would isolate her from her support network, Ms. Ventura felt that saying no to Ms. Combs would cost her something, her family, her friends, her career, even her life. And then she tried to leave Mr. Combs, who says he sent his employees to lure her back. Wow. This is rough. In one incident described in court papers, Ms. Ventura says that in early 2012, Mr. Combs grew so angry about her dating the rapper Kid Cudi that he said he would blow up the rapper's car. Around that time, the suit said Kid Cudi's car exploded in his driveway. You got to be kidding. Is this real? Through a spokeswoman, Kid Cudi confirmed Ms. Ventura's account. This is all true, he said. Whoa. A few years into Ms. Ventura's relationship with Ms. Combs, the suit says he began coercing her to engage in a fantasy of his called voyeurism, in which he was directed to have sex with a succession of male prostitutes while Mr. Combs watched, masturbated, took pictures, and shot video. According to the suit, Ms. Combs called these encounters freak-offs, which involved costumes like masquerade, mask, and lingerie. They continued for years, taking place at high-end hotels across the U.S. and in Mr. Combs' homes. Suit says that he instructed Ms. Ventura to search the websites of escort services to produce male sex workers. Drugs were supplied at these events, which Ms. Ventura's suit says she took because they allowed her to disassociate during these horrific encounters. According to the suit, Ms. Ventura would delete videos from these incidents that had been shot on her phone. Mr. Combs told her he still had access to those videos, and on a flight once made her watch a video she thought she had deleted. The suit says that as a result of these sexual encounters in different cities, Ms. Ventura was a victim of sex trafficking. The suit also accused Ms. Combs of sexual battery, assault, and violations of New York City gender-motivated violence law. My gosh, man, this is horrific. Ms. Ventura's suit includes several accounts of her unsuccessful attempts to escape Ms. Combs' control. One example, the suit says that during a freak-off at a LA hotel in 2016, an intoxicated Ms. Combs punched Ms. Ventura in the face, giving her a black eye. He fell asleep as she tried to leave the room, but Ms. Combs woke up and followed her to the hallway, where he threw glass vases at her, sending glass shattering throughout the corridor, according to the court filing. The hotel's security cameras captured that incident, but the suit says Mr. Combs paid the hotel $50,000 for the footage. The court filing says that in 2018, after Mr. Combs and Ms. Ventura met for dinner, he forced himself into her apartment and raped her while she repeatedly said no and tried to push him away. My gosh, man. After the suit said she left him good, Ms. Ventura married Alex Fine, a personal trainer. The following year, now has two young children, according to the plaintiff. Association with Bad Boy ended in 2019. Ms. Ventura's case, like other recent sexual lawsuits, is being brought under the Adult Survivors Act, New York law that allows people who say they were victims of sexual abuse to file civil suits after the statute of limitations has expired. the 1-year window to bring case under this law ends next week. The law is cited in Ms. Ventura's complaint, and in a statement, she addressed its importance. With the expiration of New York's Adult Survivors Act fast approach, she said it became clear that this was an opportunity to speak up about the trauma I've experienced and that I will be recovering from the rest of my life. Whoa! Whoa! That is, man. Listen, like I say, I don't know. I'm not gonna say who's right or who's wrong. But based off everything I read, when you left and got with the trainer, it would have seemed because that was Diddy's trainer, right? And based off what she's saying, um, it seems like he would have had that trainer knocked off with the snap of his fingers. Like you got in a you left, and I'm not gonna sit here and try to victim shame. I don't know what happened, like I'm saying. All I'm going off of is what I see in this story. I'm no judge. I am no type of lawyer, no shit like that. But this has gone on for some time. It's almost 10 years ago. I don't know, however many years ago. Diddy had hired, I believe, this man she's with now to train her, and I believe he might have trained Diddy. I don't know. This is alleged. I don't know anything for real. But it seems like he would have knocked this guy off. I just don't know. This just seems a little bit fishy to me. I pray for both sides. I hope she's not extorting him, and I hope he did not do these heinous acts, but it's just fishy. And I would say to everybody, just be careful. I believe in love. He calls himself Brother Love, but who knows? I mean, he has been getting a lot done to him. And what I'm seeing, there's like, I hate to say this because I hate to get on the black man. There seems to be a lot of slander, and it's getting rather suspicious to me that rather powerful black men are seemingly under attack, like Will Smith, Diddy. It's just going on and on. So it's scary and difficult times, to say the least. And my prayers go out to both of them. And we're gonna move right along. Retail pharmacy is dying. Okay, I know this is, on this show I just talk about things that interest me, and this is always interesting to my heart because you looking at a pharmacist, former pharmacist, and there's a lot going on. You having walkouts. Uh, a lot of the bottom line of these stores are drying up, and I just don't see any end in sight. And to me, it seems as if a lot of these large corporations want to get people out of pharmacy to just fully automate, because I think that's the only way they're going to survive. I know, like, I believe CVS and even Walgreens were looking into making their own drugs to increase their profit margins. Uh, I don't even believe pharmacists are going to have a lot to do with dispensing anymore. I just think this is going downhill. It's just rolling down the hill. And I just don't know, man. I tip my hat to those children who are going into pharmacy. I would tell you, I'm gonna look you guys in the eye. If you think about being a pharmacy, do not do that shit. If you think about being a pharmacist, don't do it. Matter of fact, Xavier University, my college of pharmacy, I believe, I was told, I don't know if this is correct, but the incoming class of pharmacy has only 60 students. And that's just not looking good. Even the AACP, the pharmacy board, when you register to take the exam, when you're trying to get ready, they don't even have a lot of people. So right now, the pharmacy schools are just scrambling for bodies. Salaries are declining. And it's just bad. I really like it's very, very sad. And now I'm out here doing all this shit and being a clown. And it's a rather unfortunate business. I really don't know. It's all messed up. I mean, in Georgia recently, I guess to help some independent pharmacies, they've passed a law to where pharmacists can sell weed. So you've gone to school and now they're allowing you to sell weed legally with your license after you've studied quantitative analysis, chem lab, organic chemistry. After you've studied your ass off, now you can legally sell weed because I guess other profits are dying. People aren't getting the shot. It's just not a lot left. And this is it's very, very sad. Um, so I don't know. I don't know. I still have an active license. I do not regret becoming a pharmacist. At the time I became a pharmacist, I got out of pharmacy school in 2002. It was a booming profession. You could walk into any place and get a bonus, a sign-on bonus, great money. You were cooking, but now it just seems to be a disarray. And also the model, that brick and mortar model of CVS and Walgreens just seems to be that of your blockbuster, because people are able to hit that button and shit shows up at the door. So the last thing people want to do is get in their car and sit in a long drive-through line, or get in their car and have to walk into a store and stand in a line and watch a pharmacist get worked to death with no support in the back. So it's just what it is. Times change, and this is what we have. And moving right along, looks like retail commissions are in jeopardy. Realtor commissions, I'm sorry, I said retail. Realtor commissions seem to be in jeopardy now. They just passed a big, big law. They got a lawsuit for the National Association of Realtors. And I actually was a realtor too. I tell you this story. I became a realtor because I bought a property. When I bought my first rental property, it was just a bad deal. I kept asking people questions, and then I just said to myself, you know what? I'm gonna go be a realtor so I can figure this out. And to be a realtor it's a relative easy thing. I mean, it's like a 6-week course, and you pay the money and get your license. So it's looking like these realtors' commissions are going to dry up, and then the National Association of Realtors will have to pay billions in this lawsuit. So it's looking rather ugly for realtors now. And I don't know, because typically in a real estate transaction, the fees are 6%. You get 3% for the listing agent. That's the person that puts the for sale sign in front of your house, and 3% for the buying agent. They would typically split that, but I guess they saying that it somehow jacked up the price. I don't know. I think realtors are helpful. I think they work super, super hard for that money. It's not easy to get a deal. You got people that barely survive in this business because there's no guarantees. But I think it'll be devastating to the economy. You got like 1.5 million realtors, and then a lot of them not even making no money. It's a small percentage that's making money and really having successful businesses. But I don't know if this will help. I just don't know. What does this shit mean for home buyers and sellers? I really don't know. It's being a realtor is a interesting thing. I use a realtor for my house, and let me see. Let me share this. Oh man, come on. Why do y'all keep pulling this? Let me see. What the $2 billion realtor lawsuit means for home buyers and sellers. Uh, Earlier this year, set out of court for a combined 140 million. $5 billion in total damages. They ultimately agreed there was conspiracy to keep their fees artificially high. It was just always, I always knew it to be 6%. I didn't even think that was high. So you think about this, right? A 6% commission would be $6,000 on a $100,000 house. Is a realtor not worth that? Like, for all the work they have to do and shit, you got to deal with people. Then sometimes people bail on the deal. I mean, you don't get this guaranteed. People are switching to other realtors. Like, I don't think this is something they really want to put their hands in, because this is small business, and you don't want to keep eliminating small businesses in America like that. This is not. I don't think this will even be good for the economy, because this is giving people a chance to really hustle. The buyer doesn't pay. I guess, okay. This is what the lawsuit about. It's a little complicated, but the base of the NAR lawsuit boils down to the group's commission sharing rule. To list the for sale property on the MLS, the database the agent used share, they must offer a commission to the agent who ultimately brings in a winning buyer, which sounds fair. Historically, this has resulted in a 5% to 6% commission, with half going to the seller's agent, half to the buyers. Here's the catch. The buyer doesn't pay their agent's fees directly. Instead, the commission is fully paid by the seller as part of their closing costs. According to the Sitzer suit, as well as other allegations, amounts to a form of antitrust, reducing competition and pushing up commissions higher than services warrant. I don't get it. I don't get that. I don't get that. It's not. I mean, like, if you sell, I don't care if you sell a house for 50,000. Well, I guess you still. I don't get it. I don't get it. And we're gonna wrap this up today. Hope you guys enjoyed this show. A lot of my shit ain't just gonna be me being silly on here all the time, because that shit gets corny. Just sitting up, joke on this. Now, I like to really talk about the real. So I appreciate y'all for tuning in once again. Also, too, I just posted some clips. Y'all go over to my YouTube page, LaVar Walker TV, where you can see me. I just posted a new comedy clip, me working out some jokes and working out some material. I often put that I bomb doing the jokes because, people love to see you lose. So that typically generates views. But check those out, man. I want to thank you guys once again for tuning in to the greatest podcast on the face of the earth. This is the LaVar Walker Show, and I love you all. And thank you all for your support. And I'm going to see you Friday, baby. We done made it to Friday, so I'm signing off this evening, and I'm going to see you tomorrow. Quit running,